Alright, so this week in VR news, we had some quite interesting developments, and first up, Capcom has confirmed that they currently have zero plans to bring Mercenaries DLC or other content like the Shadows of Rose DLC to the PlayStation VR 2 version of Resident Evil Village. This is pretty disappointing, but they still have confirmed that they have other VR developments planned for the Resident Evil series, most likely with the Resident Evil 4 remake, which they've already confirmed PSVR 2 content for. Now, Gorn is available for PSVR 2, and it has some mixed responses I've noticed, especially with some of the reprojection, that Mura effect. But overall, the game has, across all platforms, surpassed 1.5 million copies sold. And for a VR game, that's really impressive. So, the Half-Life 2 Episode 2 VR mod got a brand new launch trailer, and it is officially out. I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to try it out. And now in Quest Pro news, we have learned about Foveated rendering now actually being available on PC VR for the headset. Now this is very interesting because they have never enabled Foveated rendering on it natively, and we've never even heard details of it being capable on the headset. But OpenXR has detailed a new software that could possibly be used to overhaul, enhance the visual experience for users using foveated rendering on PC VR. There's a few steps to set it up, but overall it's pretty simple, and it could be interesting if the headset actually has the capabilities for doing it. Now, UploadVR, the site where I get most of these news articles from, has actually announced that they are coming out with a new UploadVR showcase, which will be happening around mid-June. This happens a few times per year on average, I believe, and it's usually a pretty good event. They have some decent announcements. It's nothing like it's not a Nintendo Direct or anything, but it's usually pretty good. John Carmack, who has recently left Meta, is remained very critical, but he actually went on a podcast with Andrew Bosworth, the CTO of Meta currently, and they really talked about the closure of Echo VR, the friction of current VR headsets, and all the things that John Carmack really thinks they need to improve on. And he's very critical of Meta, and so it's a very interesting listen. I would check it out. Honestly, I would recommend it if you're interested in John Carmack and that whole VR landscape. Now, Tennis League VR is a game that is set to release on April 20th. And now we've seen tennis in VR many times, but this one looks pretty interesting. There's a lot of different game modes, and there is a demo available on App Lab, so that's interesting. Now, one game I loved on flat screen that's coming to VR, which I'm super excited about, is Call of the Sea VR, which will be released on April 13th, offering an immersive, narrative-driven adventure with lots of puzzles. And this is only available on the Meta Quest 2 and the Pro, obviously, but it won't actually be coming to PC VR or the PlayStation VR 2, which is, for me, a big disappointment, because especially with the PSVR 2, I would love to play it on that platform, but I will, still be playing it on the Quest 2, just because I'm so excited. It's also only $20, which I think is pretty good, especially because it's a complete overhaul of the actual game. And so now let's just go over some quick releases for the PlayStation VR 2 in the past week. First off, we have Across the Valley, which is a farming simulation game for $20. It looks interesting. It's a farming simulation game, so if you're interested in that and you want to see it in VR, it looks like it does the job, if you know what I mean. Then another game that's just came out for PSVR 2, or rather not just come out, but it was updated for PSVR 2, is Creed Rise to Glory Championship Edition. This includes a new environment and some different characters from the Creed 3 movie, and it seems like an overall pretty big update. And this is also available on Quest 2 for current owners, but on PSVR 2, this is the only way to play Creed. It's interesting, Creed's been out for 4 years now on VR, so I'm not hyped or anything about it. I've played it a lot, it was pretty fun, but it's cool, especially if you've never done it before. For Quest 2, we have two releases also. We have Gambit, which is priced at $20. Now, I've heard about Gambit for a long time, it's been delayed so many times. Currently, it has a 4-star rating from 44 ratings on the Quest store. But I have seen some YouTubers be very critical of the game currently. So I've not personally played it, so I don't know, but just look at it, do some critical thinking on it and see if it's the kind of game you're interested in. And the final release we have on the Quest 2 is Fruit Ninja 2. Fruit Ninja 2 has been out, I believe, or at least a demo of it has been out on Steam VR for a while now. But it always looked really good, like a true, enhancement over the original, like a true sequel. And so right now it's at a 5-star rating, but keep that in mind that it's only from 14 ratings currently. It looks really cool though, so actually that's one I'm probably going to be checking out. And that's $25.